Man, what a game. Honestly, it was a complete blowout, and Puerto Rico was actually keeping up for some time. In fact, in the first half alone, there was only like a 7 point differential. But basically, when the third quarter rolled around, it was pretty much over from there. Team USA beat Puerto Rico 117 to 74. Anthony Edwards and Cameron Johnson led Team USA in scoring with 15 points each, while Mikal Bridges was right behind them with 14 points. Jaren Jackson Jr., Bobby Portis, Jalen Brunson, and Brandon Ingram also reached double figures, with Jackson Jr. scoring 12 points and the other three guys each scoring 11. But guys, even Paolo Banchero was putting up numbers at the center position. He was just bodying up their front court depth and getting buckets. It just seemed like for a team that barely had time together and only spent, 2 days in practice, basically messing around before they called themselves Team USA, they seemed to gel pretty well. I mean, it seemed really easy for them to kind of understand each other's games, and part of that is probably because they play each other all the time within all these NBA teams. But for the most part, I mean, they gelled so easily that it kind of really just looked unfair while they were out there. Now, former Boston Celtics guard Tremont Waters, who now plays for Puerto Rico, he led their team with 17 points and 5 steals. The other guys on the Puerto Rican team, George Condit IV had 12 points, and Jordan Howard had 13. And man, I gotta say, this Waters kid, he's got a lot of talent. He was crossing dudes over, putting skates on them, making it really difficult to guard him. He is a shorter guy, but he could definitely dribble his ass off, and he got to the rim with ease. To be honest, if he plays like this the rest of the FIBA World Cup, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if some NBA teams take a second look at him as a backup point guard. This kid could honestly really hoop. Now, I don't know how much these guys stay loyal to their teams, but if some NBA team gave him a chance to be a backup point guard, I wouldn't be surprised if he took it, because that's a good amount of money and the kid could really play. I also got to give it up to Austin Reeves, man. He was cooking in the first half and had an immediate impact off the bench. He had 9 points and a couple of steals and rebounds, but his IQ and team play was seriously off the charts. It's almost as if Steve Kerr, the coach, told him specifically what he wanted out of him, and he delivered. He's honestly a coach's player, and he can deliver exactly what you want out of him. He had some nice assists too, and even King James pushed out a tweet, or maybe I should say an X, now that Twitter's name is different, and he said, AR, you so cold, man. In addition to what we saw on the court, it was cool to see what we actually saw off the court too. The court had some star representation, and others who were not in attendance were showing their appreciation for those representing Team USA on the national stage. Guys like Kevin Durant and Draymond Green sitting courtside. Funny to see them together, because you would think that maybe their beef is still ongoing. But I guess they're cool, so they were sitting next to each other from their Golden State days. But yeah, what's crazy is that there was so much talent on this team. We really only saw a snippet of what this World Cup team could actually look like. And honestly, this just being a scrimmage match, I wasn't really expecting a lot, even though they blew out Team Puerto Rico. But some of these European League teams are no joke, man. The USA team will now have additional tune-up games against Slovenia and Spain before the tournament games actually begin. Both Slovenia and Spain are ranked within the top 10 internationally ranked teams, with Spain holding the number 1 ranking. So they're actually number 1 and USA is ranked number 2. And you know Luka is going to be playing for Slovenia too, so you better watch out for that. But later on, Team USA is going to travel to Abu Dhabi for the warm-up games against Greece and Germany as well. But yeah, these Euro teams, they're honestly no joke. They have a different style of spacing, different style of speed. Their fundamentals are incredibly different. Of course, Team USA has a lot of talent, especially on paper. I just hope that they could gel quickly enough to beat out some of these other teams. and hopefully they come up on top, but we'll see what happens.